Mr. President, I'm very proud of many things that we do here in the Senate chamber and, of course, in the legislature, especially with the respect to veterans. We create very many programs for our veterans and really support our military personnel in so many ways. The one area, however, that we may be lacking is in their ability to vote in our elections. Military personnel, as you all know, are serving overseas in Iraq, in Afghanistan, in forward areas, and throughout the world, quite honestly. And what we've heard from them many times is the voting process and the ability to get an application for an absentee ballot. It's time for it to travel back to the United States, to Connecticut, of course, and then that ballot be transferred back to their military base, whether it be serving, as I said, in Afghanistan or other places in the world, and then ultimately never make it in time for the November election. And to me, that's a sad thing, because these military personnel, these brave men and women, are fighting and risking their lives every day for the very thing that we hold so dear, which is voting and elections and our ability to elect our representative government. So those very people who protect us and protect that right to vote are being left out and disenfranchised from the process, Mr. President. I just looked at an article from the New York Times that said that nearly 3 million overseas military voters in at least 33 states were permitted to cast ballots over the internet in November using email or fax, and because of new regulations proposed during a federal agency that oversees voting. Otherwise, many of these ballots go uncounted in elections and because of distance and unreliable mail service. About 22% of military and overseas voters surveyed were unable to return their ballots in 2008 presidential election because of such problems, said the Overseas Vote Foundation, a nonpartisan advocacy group. This coming election will be the first in which internet voting will play a major role now that 33 states have passed measures. In 2008, about 2.9 million people overseas, and 507,000 of them requested ballots. State election officials in many states are pushing hard for better ways to handle overseas voters, and many have said they plan to use internet voting. Last year, Congress mandated that the Election Commission create guidelines for pilot programs to assist in overseas voting and include internet voting. Last year, the Pew Center of the United States found that more than one-third of our states, including Connecticut, did not provide military voters stationed abroad with enough time to vote. Testimony from states like Florida and other areas say that we have had nothing but positive things to say about our experience with these type of programs. South Carolina Election Commission said they heard no complaints from voters who choose to use these methods. North Carolina offered overseas and military voters the option to use email or fax for their ballots since 2006. And when she gets a call from a soldier from overseas who has missed deadlines and wants to vote, she's glad that they have the email option. This Johnny McLean, the deputy for administration in North Carolina, said even though there are security issues, which I'm sure is going to come up in this conversation, those soldiers are real happy too. They don't have to lose their right to vote. And isn't that what this is all about, Mr. President? Arizona granted online voting option to its registered military personnel and overseas residents in 2008. Missouri signed a new law for electronic military ballots take effect in 2010. West Virginia said there are 36,372 registered military voters. In Colorado, they hired a company out of San Diego called I forgot the name of the Everyone Counts, which provides technology that is safe and secure for online voting. They're using it in Chicago, Illinois. They're using it all over the country, Mr. President. Every day, all of us do some type of electronic exchange, if you will, whether it be paying our bills, using credit cards, going on eBay, on Amazon. You know, billions and billions of dollars get exchanged in the financial sector, through banks, and through all of us over secure online process. Why can't we give our military personnel, those people that are serving our country, those brave men and women who are fighting for that very right that we hold near and dear, that same ability? So, Mr. President, I hope that everyone stands together and passes this unanimously, because for our military personnel, this is certainly the most important thing we can offer them as they offer their lives in protection of our right to vote. Thank you.